Well, hello there. You're here awfully early. All right. Yeah, I can give you a tour of everything. All right, fantastic. Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a very special video from Grizzly Bear Sims here on the Grizzly Bear Sims YouTube channel. This is South Mountain Creamery, and this is going to be sort of an introduction video. I'm going to role play this just a little bit and just kind of explain to you how this series is going to be presented to you, my wonderful, wonderful viewers. Also, you might notice in the title line, this is sort of a farewell to Farm Sim 17. What I mean by that is that most likely by the time that I get finished with this map, with this Let's Play, Farm Sim 19 will be on the doorstep and ready to go, and this might very well be the very last map that I'm going to play in Farm Sim 17 with the Seasons mod and in the sort of style of play that I tend to play. Now, the other thing that you'll want to take note of is, unless I have issues with my broadband provider, normally I have a fairly good stream, upload, download stream. I am going to live stream all of these episodes. So I know that that's a little bit different from my normal presentation for you all, but I kind of want to try this and see how this works out for me. You know, as I have said in the past, a lot of times trying to do something with Seasons is I end up doing a lot of the work and everything behind the scenes and only providing snippets of information, you know, 30 minutes at a time or whatever for you all to enjoy. But we're going to do things a little bit smaller. We're going to stick to the real life storyline as much as possible. If you guys are not familiar with the South Mountain Creamery, I would invite you to watch Eustace Farmer's comparison video, and I'm going to link that down below in the show notes, because that video is going to really set the stage for kind of everything that we're doing here. And yes, you will see some similarities to this map from his map, because Eustace Farmer is an excellent friend of mine, and he shared his additions to the map with me, and I have made some tweaks of my own just for my own, the way I like things. And so without further ado, you are here for a tour, and I'm going to give you a tour, and we're going to just basically talk about how things are laid out here on the main farm, what fields we're going to be harvesting, what we're going to harvest, how we're going to run things, etc., etc. And then we will get together for our first live stream in the coming days. Now, sort of this whole new lease of life for me with my YouTube channel getting back in after a nearly 3-month hiatus, unfortunately, I'm not going to put a schedule out. I will live stream when I have time. I'm sort of thinking a couple of times a week. Maybe as much as 3 times during the work week in the evenings, and then maybe a bit on the weekends. And the live streams will probably be anywhere from an hour to an hour and a half in length. It kind of depends on what I've got going on and everything at the time. So hopefully you will enjoy this. I think this is going to be a fantastic map. What I like about this map is the fact that it's based on a real world location, and we're running things here very much like they do in the real world. All right, so really, again, without further ado, I'm going to take you down and I'm going to show you sort of our main sell point, not necessarily a sell point in the way that you are accustomed to sell points, but kind of how things are going to go here. And I'm going to stop talking in just a minute, because I'm going to have to basically edit or kill the sound, because there's some music that is playing once we get closer to this store, and I don't want to get a copyright ping on my ding on my channel. So what I'm going to show you is, this is the representation of the South Mountain Creamery store that they have in real life, that's set up to sell ice cream, fresh meat, produce, a whole list of things that they do. Now, this is a dairy in the real world, and all they have is dairy cows, and they also raise beef for their butcher program. They do home delivery. They support several thousand customers in this area of Maryland, here in the northeast of the United States. And so this little storefront here, if you look at the pictures on Google Earth, or if you watch Eustace Farmer's videos, you'll see lots of cars parked around. It's a very popular place for folks to come, and of course everybody in the local area supports the local, buy local and everything. That is so important. So I'm going to stop talking. We're going to walk through. We're going to walk through the store, and then I'm going to come back out far enough away from the music, and then we'll resume the tour. Okay, so here we go. So this, ladies and gentlemen, is our main farmyard. Let me just kind of bring up the menu here, and we'll take a look at the map here. Now, normally when I play with the Seasons mod, I usually crank up the number of fields and everything so that we've got a little bit more to do. But I think that has possibly been part of my downfall, is just putting way too much work and everything into the play. So what we're doing is we're coming together. When we start the live stream, we will be in very late spring or very early summer. I haven't decided exactly how things are going to work out. Right now we're sort of sitting in late spring. But what I'm planning to do once we start the live streams is allow at least one more game day to progress and either come in at the last game day of spring or the first game day of summer. We did this with Thornton Farm, and I think it really helped because I know most of you guys tune in to the harvesting stuff, and we're going to do a variety of different things, which will all become clear here in just a moment as we start riding around the map. But we do own fields 42 and 31, which are both of our grass meadows. So we'll be using or cutting grass out of these for both hay purposes as well as for grass for silage production, but mostly hay, I think. Fields 28 and 27 are our corn or maize fields. These will be cut for chaff. And field number 26 and field number 8 are our wheat fields, and these primarily are going to be used for straw. So again, we are a dairy operation. We will sell the wheat at the local grain location, but that's the only crop that we're going to grow, and the only purpose for growing the wheat is for the straw, for the cow bedding as well as for the total mixed ration. So that is sort of that. Okay, let me just save the game here, and then we'll get on with our tour. So we're going to take this old Land Cruiser here. Eustace Farmer was kind enough to share some of his mods with me as well, and so yeah. So basically, here we are in our main farmyard. Now again, folks, this isn't necessarily designed to be a full map tour like some of the guys give for these maps. This map has been out for over a month, I believe, maybe 6 weeks or something. So there's a lot of map tours out there. This is really just to set the stage for how things are going to progress here on the Grizzly Bear Sims channel with regards to the South Mountain Creamery map. So we've got our three main tractors here. What you couldn't play a dairy map, especially this one here, this fine dairy setting without the cow branded Valtra there. So we've got that. We've got one of my favorite tractors in the mod fleet, which is this big, large Challenger. That's our largest horsepower tractor that we have, and then we've got this 8R series here from John Deere, and it is fantastic. It does not have the shakes or the wobbles like a few of those had when I was playing the Tazewell County. This map does remind me a lot of Tazewell County, and I'll point that out to you in just a moment. So here we have our three, or more than three, I think there's 5 silage bunkers. Now, you know me, folks, ladies and gentlemen, I've got like 2 left hands, 2 left feet, and just a very lack of patience when it comes to production of silage in this way. We do have some chaff that is fermenting in this particular silo here because I we can dump silage into a well, let me back up. You can't dump silage by itself into a silage bunker unless there's silage in there. So what I'm doing is I dumped some chaff. I've compacted it. It's about 40,000 liters of chaff in there. So we're just going to pretend that that's some that's left over from last year. That'll produce silage here in the next few game days, and then as we produce our silage in these silos, and we've got 2 more across the street, we can always move the silage over once we run out of capacity. Here is our dairy, our main dairy house here. This is where our cows come in to be milked and eat and basically cared for and everything. We've got some calving little calves up here. Of course, there's not much that we have to do with those. They're just kind of static and for decoration, I suppose. But it was kind of interesting because when I loaded up the map, it was seasons. Also, for sake of clarity, I'm using the Minnesota geo for this map because I think that's probably the closest thing that for us. The little calves were covered in snow, and I kind of felt sorry for them. But anyway, we do have a TMR mixing station here, again, just to kind of keep things as simple as possible for me, just so that everything kind of goes a little bit more smooth and fluid. We've got a huge slurry pit there, so hopefully we're going to be doing some slurry spraying and everything on the fields to prep them for year 2. And of course, this is just the backside of the dairy, and we've got our manure dump there. So we'll most likely bring in the my favorite mod, the I can't think of the name of it right now, but that thing that sucks the sucks material out and blows it into a tipper. So that's what we're going to use there. All of our fields are prepped fully. We've got plowed, fertilized, cultivated, planted with the crops that I had mentioned before, so they're all basically ready to go. The corn was just put in because we had to wait for a ground temperature of 50 degrees for our maize, our corn, but on the other side over there, and I'll show you once we come around to the other side of the farm, you'll see that our wheat is already coming out of the ground and looking quite nice. I think we're going to have a very nice wheat and corn crop for our use. So that is all fantastic. So just across the street over here, and I have traffic turned off. I know that I think there was an issue with not being able to turn the traffic off in the map that's direct out of the mod hub, but I guess Eustace figured that out, and so I've got traffic turned off just because, well, traffic is kind of a bit unnatural in 17. Everybody drives like they're drunk or high, or maybe both. Here are other 2 silage silos here in this parking lot. I tried to put them down in the sheep area, but the ground is kind of unlevel, and so it really didn't look right. So these are both empty, and we'll obviously be focusing on getting these things filled up as we start cutting grass and also chafing our corn. So we've got some storage up here for primarily equipment that we're not using right now. We've got our slurry stuff up here and our forage wagon and such. And so back here, we don't have any equipment back here in this sheep area. We've got a bale of wool there that I guess somebody dropped off for us, but I took the animals out here. But we've got some storage up there that we can put some equipment in just in the event that we need to get it out of the rain. I like to have my equipment as much as possible all tidied and stored away and stuff, so probably these things will go up there maybe before we get to the point of starting the live streams. Here is our other kind of main storage barn here. I'll kind of take you in there and show you what all we've got that we'll be using throughout the live stream Let's Plays. Obviously, to commemorate my good friend Doug Zorley, Lord of the Grass, I've got the Corona Big M. I've got a sprayer back here. Not sure if we're going to use that or if we're going to focus on trying to do more natural green farming. We've got our official Eustace Farmer John Deere combine here, and also we've got a John Deere forage harvester for chafing the corn. If you're not familiar with the John Deere pack that Eustace Farmer modified for everyone, for all of his friends. Check out his channel and you'll find the video where he talks about that, or actually his daughters talk about it, and they do a fine job, fantastic job presenting that. And of course we've got the large header now. 45-foot header I think is probably a bit overkill for the 2 wheat fields that we have. However, I'm absolutely in love with the built-in dollies on these 45-foot headers. I wish that the others came equipped that way, because again, sort of like compacting silage, the other thing that just drives me absolutely nuts is those header trailers. The modded ones are pretty good, but the default in-game ones, it's you have to have almost a written permission from your mother to be able to get the thing off of the trailer. And so we are using those with Shamrock Valley, and Shamrock Valley is going to continue. That's my sort of my non-seasons map, so we're going to have some fun on that. You're still going to see an episode or 2 of that, maybe per week, just as we kind of have some fun and everything with doing things on this map. So one of the mods that I did fail to get, but it's okay, it's not a big deal. Eustace had a hay trailer here set up behind the John Deere. The John Deere works, and so does I think that, what is that, by the way? What is that? Is that a oh, that's an old Farmall, and both of these work. I have used them over the last couple of days, just kind of moving equipment, some trailers and stuff around. So they're good for you know, the folks that come by to the dairy and everything and take tours of the dairy. They like seeing those old pieces of equipment out here, and so we're just going to leave them for scenic value. Here's where we dump our material. Our wheat will go in there. Just to the side right there, to the right of the door, you see the chutes for the hay and the straw and the grass if we choose to put any in there. So we'll be handling everything in bulk and loose format, no baling, at least for right now, that we're going to be doing. So I'm going to let's see. Let's actually get out. We'll shut the engine off. Let's get out. I'm going to squeeze back behind here. Hopefully you don't hear the music playing, or hopefully YouTube doesn't hear the music playing. We'll come back around here again. If you are wanting to play this map, you know, you got pigs and sheep on the map, but we're just not doing anything with either of those 2 animals, since in the real world they don't do anything with those animal types either. They do sell lamb, and I believe they sell pork, but I'm guessing that those are being farmed or raised by other farmers and sold here. We've got our milk container now. Eustace had this set up with the stop milk sell point in. I'm going to take that out for our streams, for the simple purpose that I'm going to consider that to be what sells at midnight. I'm going to consider that to be the sell of the ice cream and the milk and everything else that's sold in the store that I showed you at the top of the video. That's how we're going to kind of do that, and that way it'll save us from having to transport milk around. I've got other things stored back here in these. I got like our cultivator, our other seeder for planting the wheat. We've got a plow back here. We've got this old, what is this one? This one is an old Oliver, and it sounds fantastic when it fires up. Let me fire this baby up here, see if it'll crank up for you. All right, so around we go. I tried to put the water trough in here. I guess one time lucky, I managed to get the water trough to work there in Green River, but I have not been able to get it to work since. But that's not a big deal, even though we are running quite a large head of dairy cattle, and I'll tell you what those numbers are once we start the live stream. This is fairly easy. This holds enough water that we can do our watering as we need to, and it's not too big of a pain, since we only have the one animal type, because here's where the water goes, so we can just literally back up and let it go in there. So we're going to swing around the corner here, not to hear the music again, and then we're going to jump back into our trusty little, I'm going to probably call this a Jeep a lot, because kind of, to me, it kind of looks like a Jeep. All right, so let's head on over here. We'll try not to run over this lady that's crossing the street here. We love our customers. Here's our delivery vans here. So basically, ice cream and everything, our milk, are all produced right here on site in this building, in this warehouse. And so we're delivering Obviously, we're not going to do it, but that's just static. But this particular facility delivers to the customers and everything in the area, and that's fantastic. We've got some more storage here if we want to use it. I don't have anything in there at the moment. And then right up around here is kind of where we live. This is our main shed for working on equipment. We can make modifications to our equipment. I've got my old Mack truck there over there. I've made the three-pointer, by the way. I had never done that. I had never achieved, I had never even tried, and this is an honest question, or honest answer here. I've never even tried to shoot the basketball until I started this map, and I got the 3-point last night on that. So I've achieved that Steam achievement. So I think there's only one achievement that I have not achieved, and that's the going bankrupt. Here's where I live. This is the house that is set aside for me. So you guys can come visit if you want to. And the basketball, well, that's just kind of there. So the placement for the bicycle, or for the basketball, I think is closer up there by the bicycle, but when you load the map in, it rolls down to that spot there. All right, so let's go ahead and head on over to the, we're going to head over to the sawmill, and I'm going to show you the sawmill first, and then we're going to, well, that windscreen's kind of dirty, and then we're going to wrap things up, and I'm going to take you to, let's see, I'm going to take you to, where are we? I should have turned back there. So let me back up a little bit, and we're going to head over to the sawmill. My apologies for getting us lost here. You guys, you have only been in town for just a few minutes, and I've already got you lost. So that's what I get for trying to drive around without the HUD. But I haven't put away all of the extra money. I've been using the creator mod just to bring in all of our equipment and everything, and then I will disable that and get our money and everything situated the way that it's supposed to be, and then we're going to be playing, try to play true to budget and everything. So back here, this is our sawmill. Now I think all of this is here by default. This is your typical sawmill drop point and everything. I think that's there by default. Eustace added the Maru sawmill back here. And so we're going to be obviously doing a little bit of logging, just enough to kind of keep this thing going, because we've got our newest hand that's going to be part of this series. His name is Mickey, and Mickey works back here in the beehive. He builds beehives, Mickey does. And there's Mickey. Hello, Mickey. Well, he's got his headphones on, or he's got his ear protection on. Measure twice, cut once, and make sure your eye protection and everything is that's the most safety conscious thing. Maybe I should have named him Norm. But anyway, Mickey is going to be his name. I don't want to get into any copyright issues there with any similarities to Norm, which is my favorite contractor kind of personality. I loved the New Yankee Workshop back in the day, and I really miss him. And I saw a picture the other day. Evidently, this old house is coming back for its 40th, I think it's 40th year or something like that. It's been around for a long time. And the picture did not have Norm Abrams in it, and that upsets me just a little bit, because I really like him. I sort of look up to him as far as his woodworking stuff. I am not near as good in any shape of the imagination as Norm Abrams, but anyway. So we're going to head back down kind of the way that we came, because that's kind of the way that I know to get back to the main farm area. And then, excuse me. And then I'm going to take you. Then I'm going to take you up to the greenhouse area, because in addition to, now I'm kind of guessing that in the real world, the folks that own the South Mountain Creamery are getting in their produce and everything from others. And I'll backtrack here because I need to show you this, and then we'll head up to the greenhouses. But they do sell, fruits and stuff like that. Their farmers market and everything here. So how we're sort of simulating that is obviously, again, with the help of Eustace Farmer for putting this in for us. This is the sell point here for our both our orchard trees as well as our greenhouses. So we'll bring that stuff down and sell that, and that'll kind of help just keep our, hopefully we'll make enough money in the milk sell that'll occur every night at midnight, which is, again, I'm sort of pretending that is what is being sold out of the store, the delivery, all of that kind of stuff, and then obviously we'll make some money down there. So let's again zip past the store, because that music and then we'll head up, and I'm going to show you the dealership as we get back on the correct side of the road here. I'll show you the dealership. Eustace did a fantastic job setting the dealership up and everything. It looks really amazing. I'm going to have to get rid of all the equipment though that's parked around it, because it's all, from what I can tell, it's all owned by me, and so the daily maintenance costs on that equipment, unless I put some money in each day, cheat some money in, is going to just literally probably kill me, because there's a whole bunch of equipment that's sitting around that obviously I'm not going to use, and so as a result of that, again, we're being charged daily maintenance and everything that goes along with that, and so that's going to hurt our profit. And even though, you know, I don't play ultra realistic, from the sense that, you know, if we've got a savings or a bank loan that we can take out, we don't owe anything right now, so if we do need to buy some incidentals, or if we do run into a cash flow problem, we can tap into that until we can do better. But anyway, this is such a beautiful map, by the way. This is by the Black Sheep modding guys, so the guys who did Oldstream, and the other one, I can't remember the name of it right now, but you guys know what I'm talking about. So here is the dealership, and again, Eustace Farmer did a fantastic job with this. He rebranded it Challenger. It's an AGCO dealership. He rebranded it Challenger and put all the beautiful Challenger pieces of equipment out here, and it's fantastic. I absolutely love it, but again, just for the sake of using the Seasons mod, the Seasons mod is going to punish us for the daily maintenance of this vehicle, of these vehicles and everything, and so yeah, so we're going to have to be careful with that. I will just quickly show you the store. This very much reminds me of the Western Auto of days gone by. If you guys are from the US, then you might remember that old store that used to be around a long time ago that sold just about everything. We can even get our bicycles, our jacks, and our air compressors and everything, not to mention our jack stands, our leaf blowers, some ear protection, and some sledgehammers and all kinds of stuff. So that's here. And oh, there's a barbecue pit. I've been looking to pick one of those up. So that is that. And again, I'm just going to need to sell these tractors and everything, just to get them off of the inventory, off of the books, so that we're not charged that maintenance. But I tell you what, that is a fantastic looking tractor, that Challenger, that big one there, as well as this black one here. So I don't know, we may have to fingers crossed that maybe we can make some money this first year and maybe buy something like that. But anyway, we've got that one there without the twin wheels. So here we go. We're up here at our dairy, I'm sorry, not dairy, but our sort of our greenhouse facility. Used to set all this up for us. I added the barn back there in the back just because I like to have things covered. We've got some fruit trees over here on the sort of the verge here. We've already got those. We've got manure and water for these, and so we'll figure out what we need to do to harvest those as time goes by. And then our greenhouses are basically all set up and ready to go. We've got fruit that is at the weight and ready to go, so we need to get up here and do this. Maybe that's what we'll do in the first live stream, is get up here and get our fruit collected so that our greenhouses will continue to produce, because unlike the Stevie versions, these do not auto sell. So we're going to be picking the fruit up from here and then driving it down where I showed you earlier to the little stand that's there across from the gift store, from the main farm and everything. So we've got some equipment that is up here. We've got a John Deere wheel loader for moving the manure around. We've got a Flegel truck and trailer there that's got some auto load features, and then we've got another old International Farmall tractor there. Love the old equipment, and we'll be using that. And of course, we've got another water tanker up here just for ease of use. So we'll have to drive up here and in one of the larger tractors just to be able to move that around, because that little Farmall won't move that water tanker very well. And I think over here, although I have not experienced this mod before, I think this is the honey place. So we'll bring some wood up here and let them get started on the construction of that little dude. So we have something to do with our bees, and of course we have beehives. I think our beehives are back around here, and I'm just keeping an eye on things because it looks like we're coming up on 30 minutes. So yeah, our honey production is here, but of course we've got to bring some of those beehives that Mickey is working on, and we'll get those up here. Now, as it's been a while, Billy Bob, Jack, and Matilda. Matilda is a new character that I'm bringing into sort of the storyline, and this will be kind of be a little bit of storyline. But also because I'm live streaming, hopefully we'll get some folks on the live stream and we can just talk and interact with each other as we used to do a long time ago when I used to live stream more. And really, the only caveat that I'm going to say is if you're new to my channel, I do run a 100% G-rated channel and live stream. And so we can talk about just about anything that we want to talk about in the chat. It doesn't have to be about Farm Sim. If you guys have questions, I'm more than happy to try to answer them, but we can also talk about the weather, talk about sports, talk about just about anything as long as it's civil and we don't have any hate or any bad words or bad language or whatever. So if you are going to tune into the live streams, I do just want to warn you that I have zero tolerance. So you mess up once and I'm going to ban you, or one of my mods will ban you. It's not a threat or anything. It's just this is how I like to run my channel, because we have all sorts. We have people of all ages. We have ladies, we have gentlemen, and we have children of all ages that watch the Grizzly Bear Sims YouTube channel and my programs, and I want to make sure that we keep it this way. Now, one of the things that I sort of like about this map, and I know that with Farm Sim 19, and by the way, we'll probably talk a lot about Farm Sim 19 as we come up to the release of that, which as I'm recording this video is 2 months away, by the way, folks. But I love how that they've extended the cows into this field as well. So the cows walk from the dairy, which is way over there. You can see the blue mixing station there in the distance. The cows roam from there all the way up to here, and of course this is our second grass meadow. So it's going to kind of look a little odd cutting grass out there with cows, but that's just kind of how it is. So we'll just close our eyes and try not to run over anything. But anyway, this is such a beautiful map, and I'm really looking forward to doing the live stream. And again, the live streams will occur. The only thing that would change that and would force us to go back to maybe recording and editing, uploading, and all that stuff is if my broadband can't handle it. But it's been pretty strong and reliable in the past, so we'll just see how that goes. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, as we zoom past the music again, I wanted to thank you for watching this episode. And again, this is just sort of an introduction episode to how we're going to do things. I'm not going to waste our time doing another tour or anything like that. When we start the live streams, we'll get right into the action and get going with most likely doing the greenhouse, getting those the fruits and veg and everything picked up from the greenhouse, and then probably start doing a little bit of grass work because again, we've got a lot of mowing to do. We've got those 2 big fields, and then we're just going to wait for our wheat crop to come in, and of course our corn, our maize for chaff, and then just take care of our animals and run this business as close to possible as it is done in the real world. So as that airplane flies over, hello, we will say goodbye. And again, thank you for watching my videos and my live streams and everything else. I appreciate you, and God bless you all. Take good care of yourself and also of each other. Very special thanks to Eustace Farmer for extending this map out to me. This map is not available for download in the way that it is, but you can certainly get it without the changes and the modifications that have been done by both Eustace for the most part and small things by myself. You can get this from the Giants Mod Hub. Take care, and I'll see you on the first live stream. Bye-bye for now.